When should I consider doing a Roth conversion? It's a great question, and I often find that people can get confused by this question. And the confusion stems from the difference between a Roth contribution and a Roth conversion. Two different things. And here we're talking about Roth conversions. So if you've heard about Roths, or maybe someone's mentioned Roth conversions before and you're unsure if this matters for you, you're not alone. Roth accounts can be incredibly powerful, but Roth conversions done at the wrong time can cost you more in taxes than it does saves. I'm Nick George, a certified financial planner and founder of ClearMind Capital, and I want to walk you through when Roth conversions do make sense, when they don't make sense, and just how to think about them the right way without guessing. Now, before we even talk about when to convert, let's talk about why people even consider Roth IRAs in the first place. A Roth IRA has three big advantages, okay? And the first is the money grows tax free forever. Once you put money inside a Roth account, it is out of the tax system forever. Second, Roth IRAs don't require the money to be forced out later in life, unlike traditional IRAs or pre-tax accounts, right? We call these required minimum distributions. And the IRS has these on pre-tax accounts because they're eventually going to want their tax money. And the way they can do that is by forcing you to withdraw your money from the traditional IRA. Roth IRAs don't have this, so it gives you more control. Third, Roth withdrawals don't increase your taxable income. And this is super important in retirement because it gives you, again, control and flexibility. We're really just piggybacking off one and two, but this matters for things like Medicare premiums and just overall tax planning in retirement. So when do Roth conversions make sense? First, let's start with the biggest one. In years where your taxable income is lower. Here's why this matters. When your income is lower, well, your tax rate is lower. And Roth conversions are then taxed at a lower rate if we do it in those years. And for many people, this happens in the early years of retirement. Why is that, Nick? Well, because their paychecks have stopped coming in, right? They've stopped working. Social Security probably hasn't started yet. Required minimum distributions haven't begun. You may be living off of cash or savings. So this creates a tax window. So yeah, instead of waiting and letting your entire IRA be taxed later, possibly at higher rates, you can move some money over now at lower rates. And we do not have to do it all at once. This is not an all or nothing strategy, which is great. You can convert partial balances to a Roth IRA. We can actually convert as much or as little as we want. So we may strategically convert just enough to fill lower tax brackets. Number two, when markets are down. And this one is, of course, harder to predict, but very powerful when used correctly. If the market drops and you convert during that time, you're paying tax on a temporarily lower account value. And temporarily is key here. Here's a simple way to think about it. If your IRA was worth $50,000 and the market drops and it's now worth $40,000, converting at that point means you're only paying tax on $40,000, not $50,000. When the market eventually recovers, that growth and that long-term growth after that now happens inside of the Roth, where it's tax-free. Now, this only works if Roth conversions are part of your long-term plan. I am not recommending a blanket strategy of whenever the market drops, convert. That is not what I'm doing here. This is mainly if you are planning to convert in a year where all of a sudden the market is down, well, let's go ahead and do it then rather than wait. Third, years with large deductions, right? Sometimes there's years that come with unusually high deductions, like from charitable gifting, large medical expenses, or just other deductions in general. And these deductions can help offset Roth conversions. So now we know Roth conversions make sense in years where our taxable income is projected to be lower, when the market is down, and in years where we have large deductions. So when don't they make sense? And this part matters just as much. And the first one might be obvious: in years where you have higher income, in your peak earning years. If you're in your peak earning years and you're already in a high tax bracket, I mean, converting now just makes not much sense. When we can just wait maybe for those early retirement years and strategically do it then. Number two, before you have a real plan, and I'm serious about this, Roth conversions should never be done in isolation, meaning you should never just do it on a whim just because you think you should do it. You really need to understand your income today, your projected income later, right? Social Security starts, when RMDs begin, how this all fits into your overall plan, how this fits into your balance sheet. The list goes on. There's just a lot to think about with retirement accounts. There's a lot to think about with retirement in general. When you're working and accumulating, you're really just trying to invest and protect, right? In retirement, there are so many moving parts, it can become overwhelming fast. Third, it might not make sense if you live in a high state tax like California or New York, but you plan to retire to a no state tax like Florida or Texas. Why would we do Roth conversions while we're living in the high state taxes when we can just wait and do them in the no state taxes? So, really, here's the bottom line: Roth conversions isn't about Roth is always better. It's about tax planning and reducing your total lifetime tax bill, not just this year. I say that all the time. The goal is to reduce your total lifetime tax bill, not your annual tax bill year after year. That is just not a winning strategy. So, when done well, Roth conversions can save tens, and I've even seen sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars over retirement when done strategically. This is what we do all day, every day, folks. We really try to help bring clarity to people nearing retirement and help them sort through these decisions and what to do and gain this sense of confidence in their next chapter. It's just a chapter that we want to get right. And if you're not sure where to turn, we would love to meet you. We would love to have a one-on-one conversation just to see what you have going on and see how we can help. No pressure. Just here to be a resource for you. Have an awesome day.